Hello, my name is Kenan Carter, and for this presentation, I will be talking about how technology affects interpersonal romantic relationships. Starting off with a little bit of background, technology has weaved itself into nearly every aspect of adult life. Technology has found an increasingly special place when it comes to the way that young adults form and continue their relationships. As a society, it is clear that developments that have been made with technology in general are positive and have increased the quality of life seen as humans. However, when it comes to the effect that technology has had on relationships, there seems to be a bit of a split opinion. Some believe that technology has only increased the possibilities and stability to create and foster relationships. On the other hand, there are many people out there that would argue that technology's increased presence in interpersonal romantic relationships has had negative outcomes. Some of the research I found was, according to the Pew Research Center and the Beckman Center in a study they conducted in 2013, 78% of teens have had cell phones, and 95% of them use the internet. In contrast, 83% of young adults aged 18 through 29 use the internet, 77% of those aged 30 through 49, 52% of those aged 50 through 62, and only 32% of those adults older than 62 are using the internet. According to a Pew Research Center survey conducted in 2016, nearly half of the public knows someone who uses online dating or has met a spouse or partner via online dating. 27% of 18 to 24-year-olds use online dating tools, according to a study done by Hoffman in 2018. Continuing with research also showed that using technology allows for creating communication in a less uncomfortable environment for beginning interactions. Social engagement and the formation and maintenance of intimate relationships via communication technology may facilitate the psychosocial development of adolescents and the emerging adults. During these developmental years, self-identity, intimacy, and sexuality are developed through the social and interpersonal interactions and are explored with greater depth and intimacy with age. Research about sexual behavior among young people should consider communication technology be an important element of in the context in which young people operate and develop, influencing their decision-making processes, their communication with partners, and ultimately their behaviors. The prevalence of smartphones means we are always in contact. Social media allows others to get to know us before we have even met, and dating apps give us an abundance of choices and suitable partners. The research question focused on in this presentation is what impact has technology had when it comes to interpersonal romantic relationships. And the hypothesis that I focused on is, in what has become a techno-driven world, technology has become a very useful asset when used correctly that can be used to create and grow relationships. As growing adults, relationships, specifically romantic relationships, are something that all young adults are either experiencing now or want to experience in the future. The number of apps and social media that have been released in the last 2 decades that have made it easy to contact people, form relationships, those have flooded people's phones, laptops, and tablets. This connection between technology and romantic relationships is undeniable, and rather than using apps blindly, I think it's important that people understand the benefits that can come from this new techno-driven world. I decided to use a Likert scale and open-ended questions for my research, and I actually conducted my research and used 100 randomly selected responses for the Likert scale and 25 for the open-ended. 42% of those respondents use social media or dating apps to first meet their romantic partner. 89% agreed that technology is beneficial when it comes to starting relationships. 64% agreed that it had a positive impact on their relationships. 98% saying that they use technology to communicate with their spouse, and 94% agreeing or strongly agreeing that it would help with long-distance relationships. For the open-ended questions, most people said that technology helped when they were trying to go through a long-distance relationship, especially those who had military spouses. A positive that they found was that they could always stay in contact with their partner, and a negative was that with the increased amount of technology, it became hard to trust their partners. The limitations, I would say that I stayed a little bit too broad for this project. I think narrowing it down to specific technology such as social media or texting would be helpful, and too wide of a participant base. So thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.